So today we're going to be talking about the Canon R10. Who is this camera really marketed for? And could this be the perfect camera for you? Let's talk about it. So I'm not going to lie, I'm annoyed but excited. I'm excited that Canon is seemingly moving in the right direction. And I think that they're forced to because of their competition. Their competition is pounding out almost nearly perfect cameras for great prices. And Canon had been playing games with their features on their cameras for so very long. And I think that because of how the market is positioned, how the economy has changed, and how expectations have changed, I feel like Canon really had to just kind of stop playing games, and they're moving in the right direction. I'm really excited about that. Now, what causes me to be annoyed is that I really believe that all of the features that is found in the Canon R10 really should have been the features that we would have got with the Canon M50 Mark II. Now, if you are not familiar with the story, or you're not familiar with the whole Canon M50 situation, let me bring you up to speed briefly. I had been a Canon M50 shooter for quite some time. This camera holds a special place in my heart. If you watched some of my previous videos, I did a whole video asking the question, is the Canon M50 still relevant for 2022? My conclusion was yes, but I believe the best value, if you're looking into this camera, is to get it used. But nonetheless, this is the camera that helped me transition from a hobbyist to somebody who got paid for my work. And so owning the M50 was my pleasure, was exciting. It was a very wildly popular camera for content creators, and it served and it did its job very well. But when the announcement of the Canon M50 Mark II came out, everybody was on the tip of their seat in excitement, because we thought that we were going to get some massive upgrades to the Canon M50. I mean, the Canon M50 was a great camera. It still is a great camera. But when they released the Canon M50 Mark II, it was a dismal failure. I mean, literally, you can YouTube it, you can research it. Literally, in my opinion, they just released the same camera. They just re-released the camera. You got a couple minor upgrades or features. I wouldn't even call them upgrades. You got a couple minor features. If you were a live streamer and if you did a lot of vertical shooting, then that camera would have benefited you more. But the same sensor, same everything. The Canon M50 Mark II was a tragic disappointment. In my opinion, I think the Canon R10 is really what the Canon M50 Mark II should have been. But that's my opinion, and it's water under the bridge. That is the past. So I am excited about the R10. I do believe that it has some significant upgrades and significant benefits for content creators. I believe that this camera could be considered a hybrid camera, in the sense where for those who are just getting started in content creation, it's great for beginners. I think Canon has always done an amazing job with kind of their menu system and kind of their cameras right out of the box being very user-friendly for people who are just trying to figure this thing out. But I think it's a hybrid because it's great for beginners and intermediate people. For those who just want to go on a trip or travel, or for those who just want a lightweight run and gun type of situation, the Canon R10 could be a perfect solution. You have no record limits. You have a 24.2 megapixel sensor. There's an upgraded autofocusing system, and I think that this camera is a pretty good steal, and it's under $1,000 without the lens. I think it's going to be an amazing camera for content creation and for people who are just looking to have something in their bag, something in their kit where they can just pull out. It's lightweight and they could just start snapping pictures or taking videos. I think it's going to be very beneficial to the content creation game. If you are new to this thing and you don't want to drop $1,500 on a camera, I think the Canon R10 would be a perfect solution for you. use. Now for me, I am awaiting and more looking forward to the Canon R7 because of the direction that my content creation is moving in. The pro features is what I am yearning and craving for that particular price point. So I'm looking forward to the Canon R7. If I wasn't kind of where I am in my own content creation and own journey, I think I would be drooling over the Canon R10. I think the Canon R10 is something to take in serious consideration in your purchasing decision because I think it will benefit you a lot. I think the Canon R10 is something that people should really be excited about. Again, I think this represents Canon moving in the right direction, and I hope that they continue on this journey of adding value and giving us the features that we deserve, particularly those who are loyal to their brand and have been using their brand. I think we well deserve the features that's going to help us to create the content that we want to create. I'm excited about the R10. I think you should be excited about the R10. I think that this should be something that you would take in consideration. For those who are just starting out and you're just trying to figure out what camera will work best for you, and you're just not certain if you want to drop $1,500 and more on a camera, like you just don't know where you're going to land in this content creation thing and you don't want to overspend, I think that you would really enjoy the Canon R10. So who is this camera for? I think it's for the beginner. I think it's for the intermediate person. I think it's for those who value being able to produce high production level videos and photos, but is not interested in breaking the bank. This is a really good camera to be excited for. I think that you should really look at this camera and see if it really will work well with what you got going on in your creative flow. So I think I'm going to end the video here. But the question of the day is, who is excited about the R10, or is the R7 just kind of overshadowing the potential of the R10? I can see how the R10 can add tremendous value to someone. It seems like a pretty amazing camera. It seems like it could really be of value to someone who is getting into content creation or just to be in someone's kit. It seems like an amazing camera. Are you excited about the R10? Are you considering picking up this camera? I mean, it's less than $1,000. Now, it's not cheap, but it's not as expensive as other options. So I'm curious to know who is excited about this camera. But until next time, I hope and I pray to see you soon.